This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
Place to Be Nation Pop Experience. Welcome back to another episode of Pop Goes Degrassi, where tonight we will be covering Season 2 of Degrassi Next Generation, Episode 16, Message in a Bottle, and 17, called Relax. But as always, I have my co-host with me, Mr. John Kesalika. John, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Happy New Year to you and to all the Pop Goes Degrassi listeners. The dead of winter here and in Connecticut where you are, Green, but what better way to spend these cold months than up in the Great White North with our friends at Degrassi Community School, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be colder in Canada than it is here.
Maybe not at the beaches of Wasaga where Sean's parents live, but, in Toronto, on a sushi night, or as we gear up for some floor hockey action, as we'll see today, definitely can test the temperatures for us.
Yeah, last time we were here, we were talking about Marco finding himself and JT having the hots and growing up for Miss Hatzilakos.
Miss Hatzilakos gets even more play tonight, and we even meet a new teacher. So exciting all around in the Degrassi world today.
Yeah, it seems like we're covering all the teachers for subjects here.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And even though I think, as we'll talk about it as we move on, we touch on some similar themes and even some kind of almost feels like repeat stories, I think there's some growth in how the characters deal with those almost familiar situations coming up.
Yeah, so let's deep dive as we get into it. This is Degrassi Next Generation Season 2, Episode 16, called Message in a Bottle. Sean and Emma hang out at Sean's house. Tracker interrupts them, and Sean says, "Let's go to the library." So we haven't really seen much of Emma and Sean together ever since the end of White Wedding, John.
Yeah, it seems that we've got the rekindling full on now, as they've taken back to studying together, spending some time. Even Sean letting her into the house. Previously he had been very embarrassed of his home situation, but ready to hit the chemistry notes here. Tracker though. Barging in, great portrayal here by Tracker in the do-rag and the camo, just fully unaware of his brother and girlfriend trying to have some private time, even though it is in the guise of chemistry notes, and still showing how Sean maybe is still feeling a bit put out as Tracker definitely says, hey, you guys gives him a bit of the nudge at the door, just as they've gotten settled, right?
Yeah, and it does seem that Tracker is really trying to be like the responsible parent of not letting them hang out by themselves in a room alone.
Yeah, we've seen Tracker and Emma interact a couple times throughout. I remember the first time was when she was petitioning against the ads in school news, and he pointed out that that's how Sean's able to have a computer so that he can study. And they even he thanked her for kind of helping Sean stay on track in school and hitting the books, and so he's more than pleasant to her, but at the same time happy to see them go.
Yep. As we get our opening credits and everything, we see now that Jimmy and Sean are practicing basketball. So it must be a new season of basketball where Jimmy makes the team and doesn't get cut by Coach Armstrong here. And I believe this is the first
more Adderall or Ritalin-induced rage on Jimmy's part. He's working well as a team with Sean. You see a little give and go here. And Armstrong is pumped to say, hey, we need that from you guys. in the regionals. So yeah, like I said, kind of some resets here of some stories we've seen before, but also good to see a little bit of a better dynamic between the students as they're, Sean and Jimmy have been people who've been at odds the whole time, but now, coming together, and even Spinner kind of trying to broker the peace a little bit here.
Yep. And also, this is like the first time that we've seen Jimmy on the basketball team for the new season. I mean, again, I don't even know which season we're in for, because I believe as like our next like 2 episodes, like they're in football pads next time. I think we get an image there. So it's kind of hard to say like what season they're in, because we've seen soccer and we'll see floor hockey, but we've seen a lot of sports here.
Yeah, I think they kind of just, our writers kind of just take whatever fits the episode of the day, and figures we don't need to necessarily be following the season all the way through. I think you saw this in other teen melodramas, of course, Slater and Saved by the Bell, it was wrestling season when the story called for it, but it was football season, at other times too, right?
Yeah, it was. So, yep. But now we're on to like the new basketball season here. Like you said, also Spinner tries to get them to make peace. So Jimmy invites Sean and Emma to a party because the basketball team made regional. So Jimmy again, no parents around, and he's just ordering pizza from Antonio here.
I was going to say, yeah, Antonio's got a chance to earn his, put some big money in his pocket this week if he's got that many people coming over for the party. But yeah, Jimmy's able to host. We get the two kind of bonding over making fun of Spinner for his BO as he tries to bring them together, and some wonderfully Canadian callbacks here as we see some references to the Raptors, the Toronto Raptors, of course, as Spinner says, you guys are acting just like Vince Carter and JYD out there. So shout out Jerome Williams, one of my favorite Georgetown players who had a decent pro career as well.
Yep. Emma then asks Sean to dinner with her and her parents. Sean is mad because he wanted to go to Jimmy's party because they're trying to really mend the fences together. But then Emma begs him to come. So again, little turmoil as Sean wants to go to Jimmy's party because they made regionals, but Emma's like, no, you gotta come, please. It's my parents, they're expecting you. And it's like, why didn't she just ask Sean before making this arrangement here?
I was gonna say, I hope you didn't gloss over it there, Grooney. Yeah, obviously, as Manny even puts it to her, she's known about this for a week or so, and hasn't brought it up to Sean. Emma says, "Oh, he would just say no, or I'm worried, so I need to sort of asking him at the last minute or springing on him at the last minute is going to be good." Because we even see, obviously, Mr. Simpson comes up to them in the hall and is saying he's excited for it. So she's already accepted the invitation on Sean's behalf. That'd probably piss me off a little bit already if somebody did that for me.
Yeah, I feel like I've been there before, and I'm like, really? We have to do this? Like, I don't want to. I want to be anywhere else but here.
Are you a big sushi guy there, Grooney? Would that be like the first like dinner at your girlfriend's to meet the parents, go over and have a sushi dinner?
No, it would not be.
Sushi, mind you, in Canada.
No. No, it would not be. Jimmy is staring at Ashley and tells Spinner that she has changed when Spinner's like, dude, what are you doing, man? Like, I thought we moved past her. And, like, it's almost like Spinner's trying to remind Jimmy of, like, everything Ashley said from the party last year. And it's like, well, the times have changed, and Ashley has been starting to change. So Jimmy invites Terry and Ashley. Paige is missing the party to go to a spa with her mom, and Ellie actually passes on going to a party. So I don't blame Ellie. She's the goth girl, and she definitely does not want to hang out with the jocks.
No, that's not her scene. She's had to be hit on by Spinner and Jimmy a bit already, and she'd probably rather go hang out with Attila at the piercing house, or just stay at home herself, as you'll see later on. But yeah, no need for everybody to have to go to the party, even though it seems like we got a ton of people there anyway. They did a nice job here, I think, of explaining why Paige and Ellie wouldn't be there. I think that's fine. And also give some tension as to Ashley's decision in being able to go. I think they've done a nice job here with Ashley, as she's really settled into this new look. I think she has a bit more control over the makeup and hairstyling as we've gone on through the season. It's not so overwhelming, and it seems just more naturally a part of her style now. So even though that may be the look of, as Spinner puts it, a vampire, there's a reason Jimmy still feels connected. They were dating for 7 months after all.
Yep. So Terry is really trying hard to convince Ashley to go, because Ashley was hesitant to go to the party, but Terry's like, no, you should go. I think Jimmy likes you again. So Ashley agrees to go. We'll see them at the party later. But before we get there, Sean and Tracker are arguing about Tracker quitting his job, but Tracker says he has an interview lined up. I could see why Sean is upset when Tracker does stuff like this, because he wants Tracker to afford to put a roof over his head so he doesn't have to go back to his parents in Wasaga Beach.
Yeah, he's fearful of that, and he starts pointing out parallels between Tracker and their dad. Says, he would blame his boss and quit jobs all the time, and then go for months in between. But Tracker, kind of taking ownership of it here and saying, hey, I'm not like that. I already have interviews lined up. I'm not hitting the bottle immediately like Dad was, kind of planting the seeds for what we might see later with Sean's confrontations with some adverse situations.
Yep. Emma asks her parents not to ask Sean a lot of questions, because she understands that Sean gets sensitive about where he lives and who takes care of him and everything, that his parents are absent. So the four of them are eating. Spike asks about Sean being a basketball star and says his parents must be proud, but Sean says he lives with his brother. And even Spike's like, oh, yeah, I remember now, because, again, I think even Spike remembers Tracker from that one episode about the laptops and everything.
Yep. Yeah. So definitely, you got at the same time, Sean, you got to expect that you will be asked questions about what your life's like at home, or even just like, the basketball team. He could do a little bit better of being a bit more cordial here, but I can appreciate that he feels a little put off still. This is not something he had planned, and he was already starting to make some inroads with the basketball team again, so maybe feeling a bit just on the spot here. And especially with his brother now out of work, it feels like they're picking all the right spots to hit for the things that are kind of up in the air right now in his life, and that's really off-putting for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he could have been more on it, just calm about it. It's like, yeah, there's nothing to worry about it. But again, he thinks that the parents are going to be like, oh, you come from a broken home and everything.
Mm-hmm. Which of course we see Spike definitely kind of goes that bleeding heart route and feeling like a child like him shouldn't have to deal with all of this.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Simpson asks what Tracker does for work, and Sean says he quit his job yesterday. So, again, he's bringing more nervousness on himself by actually being honest with everything. Yeah. But so Sean gets a glass of water for everybody, but he sees of he sees a bottle of what I can only say is sake, and he pours a glass. And then he spills food on Emma, so she goes and gets changed while Sean is attempting to leave and get ready to go. Spike wants to give Sean leftovers. Sean accuses Spike of treating him like a charity case. Sean gets up and leaves.
Yeah, great moment here at the table and in the lead up to it. So you're going with sake for the bottle that's on the table?
Yep. Yes, I am.
I'm not sure. It's a liquor of some sort, but haphazardly just left there. Oh, open, I should mind you, like the top screwed off, and just left there on the kitchen table as Sean sees a way to maybe kind of make it through this dinner by kind of numbing things a little bit. Comes back and a bit out of sorts, and clumsy with passing dishes to Emma, and the Spike mentioned, all good nature. Hey, why don't I fix you something to take home? And Sean immediately takes that as, hey, what do you think? I'm a welfare case? Quit. And she says, no, it's a home cooked meal. And he says, what? Like I don't get one at home. You can see it. Amazing, just like response here, and great. Like maybe he's looking for a way to get out of there. So he's amping it up a little bit more, but uses that to show himself the door and say, you know what, I'm out of here.
Yeah, we'll compare. Does Sean and his brother live in a they have a house, right? Or is it a trailer?
It's not a trailer, but it's definitely more of a like prefab home that, is probably in among a bunch of, one story, one bedroom houses like that are all very close together. So, more like a low rise project. It looks like compared to like an actual trailer park.
So this is definitely like a Boy Meets World Sean Hunter compared to Degrassi Sean Cameron. He comes from a broken home. His parents aren't around. Sean doesn't actually live with his brother on Boy Meets World, but he's known to being on his own. And as we see, he gets liquored. Sean gets liquored up here and has a history of alcoholism in his family, like Sean Hunter did on Boy Meets World. But I do wonder if this is Sean's first time drinking alcohol, as we saw in Boy Meets World. It felt like it was the first time that Sean Hunter drank alcohol.
I don't know if this is his first time. I mean, it seems like it's his first time, definitely, as we'll see, getting like really drunk. I gotta say, like watching this episode, or watching it back this time, I feel like these have merged together. So many of the early Sean stories, because I'm like, wait, didn't he already go to the party with Emma and get drunk or whatnot? But he didn't, right? Like previously was just a different party that they went to. So this is, and I thought, I could have sworn some of these beats had played through. That's what I mean by it feels like we're hitting a lot of similar story notes, but seeing just a more developed reaction and play here, because even Jimmy gets some different response here as we go on.
Yep. So now we're at Jimmy's house. Ashley and Terry arrive at Jimmy's, and Ashley sees Jimmy. Ashley says Jimmy didn't want her to come. So again, Ashley thinks that Jimmy fails to notice her, but Jimmy is just nervous. And he's like, I'm going to go talk to my friend over here. It's like, who's this guy?
He's got some party guests to tend to. Later on, he's going to have to find the napkins. I mean, Jimmy is being a good host there, Grudy. Don't slag him for that. He's got a lot going on. He doesn't want to be seen as somebody who doesn't, take care of his friends. I'm with Jimmy on this. He does, go out of his way, as we'll see in a couple of minutes, to make time and address Ashley directly. But that can all get thrown to the wolves as well.
Yep. Okay, so Snake and Spike tell Emma that Sean left after Emma comes back down from cleaning herself off, and Emma accuses Spike of saying the wrong thing. Spike says it was a total misunderstanding about leftovers, but Emma goes off to find Sean. So again, Emma just siding with Sean and saying that, her parents are wrong in this case, because Emma did say, like, just don't ask him too many questions, like he's sensitive. I feel like they should have respected her words a little bit more, but again, Sean could have been more at ease, like you said, John.
Yeah, she had definitely set them up, and Spike and Snake, for as good natured as and good intention as they're trying to be, finding ways to put their foot in their mouth and really just piss off an already agitated Sean in that situation. You know what though, I gotta also give it to Sean. I don't want leftover sushi handed out to me. That feels like something I'm not going to want to eat the next day. Right?
Yeah, that doesn't sound appetizing at all. Sean arrives at Jimmy's, and Craig asks if Sean was drinking, and he says, just a little bit. Sean sees a liquor bottle in Jimmy's cabinet. Sean tells Craig that he and Emma are over, apparently. Sean then pours liquor into the bottle and drinks it.
Great moment here early on, as we can see the people are happy to have Sean there. Craig and Spinner both are like excited that he's there. So it seems like some inroads being made by Sean, not just with Craig being a friend, but having Spinner like pumped to have him there. There's their, coming together on the team and as friends as well. Craig with some outstanding performance here, having to be the one to play silently, like, wait a minute, something's wrong with this guy. The look on his face as he's letting Sean just kind of overexcitedly celebrate that it's a party, and having to be the one to voice of reason say, hey man, like, what are you doing? I thought was some good, in the small moments they gave to Jake Epstein in this episode, some good work on his part.
Yep. Sean pours more liquor into the bottle and drinks it. Ashley wants to leave, but Jimmy says she's the guest that Jimmy wants to be with. Emma finds, so
he's smooth, like they weren't together for 7 months for nothing, not just because he was giving Toby basketball tips. She remembers, and she wants to spend some time with him too, and that he is saying, hey, no, hold on, I'll put the guests aside, let's hang out, let's talk. Like he even said, we haven't had the chance to talk, so he obviously is looking for something here. And Terry, good friend Terry, once again says, sure, we can stay, no problem, even after Spinner hits her right off when she walks in with, hey, where's Paige? Thanks a lot, Spin.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Emma finds Sean drunk at the party and tries to take the bottle away, but Sean breaks the bottle. Jimmy sees what's going on and kicks Sean out because he needs to make sure that this house is clean and spotless for or if Jimmy's parents come back ever.
We didn't need, if only we had like the needle scratch of the record, for the music stopping when a bottle breaks. But,
yeah, no.
But yeah, we get Jimmy. Jimmy kind of walks in and is like, this is what it is. You come in here, you steal my parents' booze. Hard ass Jimmy right away. But Sean even puts it back on Jimmy. Says, your parents are so rich, they're not going to notice.
Yep.
And you know what?
Yeah, go ahead.
Not for nothing. We get Sean's good nature here as he is insisting, says, please let me clean it up first, at least, before he is shown the door, by Sean or by Jimmy.
Yeah, so Sean was really trying to mend the fences here, and he screws it up with Jimmy. But here's something dumb that Jimmy does. He mishandles glass, which is stupid. How would you not know to handle glass with a broom and a dustpan, Jimmy? As he cleans the glass, he is bleeding, and Ashley's like, "Oh, let me help you, like, clean it up and stuff." So, but then also, I believe this is when Jimmy kisses Ashley.
Yeah, they are. They're in close proximity. They are. They're tending to his wound, and Jimmy's so caught up in the moment, maybe so ramped up on adrenaline after showing who's the man and kicking Sean out of the house, can see past the haggishness of Ashley from a year ago and leans in.
Yep. Or maybe it was from the adrenaline of getting cut by the glass, John.
Getting cut by the glass. Yeah.
Yeah,
the long-haired guy has no chance here. As much as he tried to put the moves on Ashley, how's he going to compete with Jimmy?
Yeah, really. Like, how do you not know how to clean up glass, bro?
Well, he's just at home ordering pizza from Antonio all the time. He doesn't have the real need to be messing around with glass.
Emma calls her mom, getting her get out of jail free card from her. Or then at school, Ashley kisses Jimmy, but also, like, before we get there, sorry about that. Sean and Emma are outside, and Sean starts crying and calling himself a loser. Emma then calls her mom, and they get picked up from Emma's get out of jail free card here, no questions asked. And then it's the next day at school. Ashley kisses Jimmy. Sean tries to talk to Jimmy, and he leaves. But then Emma talks to Sean, who is upset about screwing up. Emma says he likes Sean, that she likes Sean and cares about him. So Ashley reciprocating and giving Jimmy a kiss back. So they're trying to mend a broken heart, actually, here, John.
Yep. Yeah. So we're moving in the right direction for them. And, Sean obviously beating himself up, as only he can, right? Saying, I'm just a screw up. This is same beat we saw from Sean last season with Emma, and probably sitting next to the lockers very much like this. Saying you don't need to be around me. I'm just going to screw things up. Last year it was that I'm dumb. Now it's that he messes things up. But Emma is, she stands up for him and says, I like you, and that's not going to change. So this is and I thought a surprisingly mature take on her part. She said, no, this is about us, not about, your brother or my parents or, Sean or Jimmy and them. Like, this is us right now. And so really heartfelt moment for the two of them here.
Yeah, like you said, Emma is really taking, I don't care about anybody else, and I really want to be with you and everything. So Emma really cares and wants this relationship to work out this time around.
Absolutely. So, I think we're kicking this second half of the season off, after White Wedding was kind of a reset at the middle. Felt like a good ending point. I don't know the production history here. It feels like maybe that could have been a point where they were like, hey, that's the wrap on it. And they got renewed. And so we're coming back. To me, these students actually seem like they've gone through a bit of a growth spurt, hitting on these back end episodes. So I think they're handling all of those problems with a different level of maturity, having been through it already. And we can see what relationships are, maybe going to endure here as Jimmy and Ashley, reaffirming that they're going to give it a go. And Emma standing by Sean's side and saying, hey, I've got, my mom trusts me, trusts you. She won't want to do this all the time. So, and he says, don't worry, I'm not planning to be drinking all the time anymore. So, real level of trust and honesty between everybody here.
Yeah, as we get into more seasons, John, you'll notice that it starts like September through December, starts like the first half of the season, and then it's like winter break, and then second semester up into the last day of school or graduation for the seasons up and coming here.
Yeah. Then we get into the Claire seasons where they're like, we'll just do a whole semester for one entire year and stretch a school year over like two, three seasons instead somehow, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And then for all we know, the White Wedding episode could have been like spring break for all we know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or like, yeah, because I mean, it's sunny and it's not winter, so when's the basketball season end?
Yeah, basketball's winter time. Basketball's a winter sport traditionally, so.
Yeah, so again, we don't even know what season we're on here. Maybe the Canadians play sports backwards. I don't know.
Hockey all year, right?
Yes, hockey all year. MVP, John, I have Sean.
Absolutely. There's not much, many other characters in contention here. He carries this episode, a real element of struggle on his part, and also just, frustration. He's agitated, but also really heartfelt and, wanting to be better. You can see as he's really trying to fit into these two different worlds, and at the same time alienating himself from them both at the same time. But he's got people who thankfully won't give up on him. So, we got a lot of hope for Sean. Really, really strong performance from him. He definitely had some fun with the drunk scenes. Who do you think was a better playing drunk so far, Terry or Sean?
Sean. Because we are seeing the emotional side. With Terry, we just saw her like the fun side, the happy drunk. And then from Sean, we see, he's kind of happy, but he's also miserable. Like he's like a sad drunk too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, we've had Terry drunk, Ashley on ecstasy, and Sean drunk as far as our like characters under the influence in episodes. And I think you're right. Sean really hits both parts of it, really, really nicely here. The anger and sadness, but also the joy when he gets to the party. He's all excited, right, and happy to be there, and finally like letting loose, which is what he was hoping the booze would provide for him in this case. Yeah. And who throws a better party? Which party would you rather be at, the Terry party or Jimmy's party?
I guess it was
Ashley. The party was Ashley. That's right.
Oh shoot! I would say Ashley's. You want to know why? Because like it was more of like Jimmy was just like an apartment. I feel like it's too crowded in like an apartment, but like maybe there's not that much room. But Ashley's like was at her house, and it's like, I mean, there's more free space and more time to chit chat with everybody.
Oh yeah, you had rooms to have a private talk with Sean and Ashley, or like hook up or whatever, or rooms to, go do with JT and Toby in the back and the top too. Yeah, good point.
Yeah,
the space lends itself, to more of a good time.
Yeah, and with Ashley too, we saw her being like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so happy," and then it's like, "Wow, I wrecked my life," like with all of my friends. Like Terry was just trying to be like happy drunk, but she knows she screwed up. But Terry's still trying to find her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
LVP, John. I'm going to. I have one. I'm going to say it's Spinner. You want to know why? Because he has been. Spinner is a hater, but also in his party scene, who plays with whipped cream at a ninth grade party, bro? Like Spinner is so immature in this episode, and I was like, dude, grow up.
Spinner's big on the aerosols. We saw him with the spray cheese when they had the guys' weekend. And now we have him apparently with some whipped cream as he answers the door. Also, Spinner, yeah, you're right. Like negging on Jimmy and Ashley immediately. Where's the support for your friend there? If that's somebody he actually cares about, and then just completely heartless when Terry and Ashley show up. Of like, oh, where's Paige? Hey, isn't she your girlfriend? Like, shouldn't you know that she's not going to be there? And also, Terry probably still has some feelings for you. Try not to be such a douche. Yeah.
Yeah, so Spinner, hands down, LVP. I mean, if Jimmy was mad about the glass, imagine if Spinner got whipped cream all over the floor.
Shout out Tagger's boss as a subtle LVP for being a jerk and costing him his job, maybe on the back end. And Spike, was in the running for me as not really, listening and understanding what Emma had to say, but she comes through with the ride for them. So she salvages that, even though that's off camera.
Yep. Well, John, let's get into our next episode, season 2, episode 17, Relax. And relax is something that one of our characters is going to have to do.
I think I texted you as I started watching this, and I said, oh, my God, it's the floor hockey episode, because I knew it was coming at some point, but I wouldn't have known from the title of the episode. And sure enough, here we go. And, yes, we get there's no other way to put it, we get a Liberty episode, right?
Yeah, and it seems that we have not. It's been a while since we've seen Liberty in a long how do I say, as the main character in an episode here. She's always been the side character, or she's always had or even a background character of oh, here's your present, bye.
Yep. And a sign, again, of the aging of the kids, which I think is very, very obviously, it's very realistic here. The first Liberty-centric episode we had was her learning disability, her dyscalculia, if you'll recall, and her inability with the announcements as well. I think those were her two main storylines so far, aside from crushing on JT. But she is definitely much more confident in herself and much more grown up in these moments here. Even Manny is from 6-7 episodes ago when we saw her going on the date with Craig and acting like a little kid, is much more controlled and much more level-headed, it seems, in this episode. That's what I mean from this is a really, really natural progression for the kids. It plays out very realistically to be in they're grade 8. Right?
Yes, they are in grade 8. Yep.
Grade 8. Yeah, at this point, we just had a brief winter break for Christmas and New Year's here. Even in Vietnam, some of the international school kids get that break. And I had a student of mine come back. We had missed 2 weeks of classes with him, and on Sunday he showed up, and I was like, "Would you grow 5 centimeters over break or whatnot, man?" He's definitely bulking up. So it happens quickly. So I think it brought back to mind watching this show. It was no, that's very, very, very true to life.
Yep. Ms. Hatzelakos is holding floor hockey. I thought it was field hockey at first, but it's floor hockey tryouts. Liberty is struggling with her stick and puck in hand. So she's struggling, but Kendra makes a goal for her and Liberty's team during tryouts. So Kendra is the sports star in Spinner's family also.
There we go, Kendra. Way to go. I thought she was a goalie from past episodes, but I guess not. Yeah, really, really giving it to him on the floor hockey court here as the girls and every girl we know, all of our main players. It's outside of the older girls, so seem to be on the team. So great to see.
Yes, and I guess soccer had ended because I believe that's where she's the goalie.
Okay, you're right.
Or she is a power for a center or something, because I think she scored a goal in soccer too with her episode with Toby as well.
There you go.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, I scored a goal in soccer and stuff too." So soccer ended, and it's floor hockey season. I didn't know floor hockey was an actual a school sanctioned sport, but I believe it is. Yep.
Yeah, not competitively, you wouldn't think. We had floor hockey that we just played in gym class, but not that we had a team that played against other schools. Apparently, in Canada, maybe ice time is reserved for the boys' teams, and so the girls play just floor hockey instead.
Yeah, and I like that it's Miss Hatzalakos instead of Miss Kwan as the floor hockey teacher. Like Coach Armstrong plays out for a basketball coach and a math teacher, where Miss Hatzalakos is a science teacher and the girls' gym teacher here.
Yeah, I can't see Miss Kwan being much of an athletics coach in any sport. So probably best to keep her in the classroom.
Yep. Miss H says that final cuts will be posted tomorrow, but she pulls Liberty aside. Liberty says she can't wait to take her team to victory, but Miss H lets her down gently that Liberty has been cut from the team, but she wants Liberty. Miss H wants Liberty to be equipment manager and team manager here. So Liberty says okay, and she takes the job.
Yeah, hey, you're not quite good enough to play, but we want you still around, Liberty. Why don't you help us out as a team manager? Some people definitely want to be a part of the team no matter what, and Liberty seems to fit the bill here. So she's, gung-ho and probably going to find a way, as we see, to leave her mark as a manager.
I kind of like how she did this. She pulled Liberty aside because I think that most of the girls would handle rejection better. However, it does seem that Liberty is the only one that gets cuts that we see on camera. So I don't know, but I think that Liberty would definitely take rejection. As we see, she takes everything so seriously. So I think this was a good compromise here to pull her and be like, you're not going to make the team, but I want you to be team manager. So good on Miss H here.
Good on Miss H. Yeah, definitely, letting her down instead of, waiting to go look at the list that gets posted and have to deal with that as some level of embarrassment, or maybe giving her the hey, we're going to post and we'll have your name listed as manager, so she can already prepare herself to feel good about that in some way. Yep.
Emma, Kendra, and Manny celebrate making the team. They spray silly string on Manny and all this stuff. And Liberty says she is going to train the girls hard train the girls hard for a winning season here, John.
All right. Seeds are planted, right? As Liberty is a bit of a sense of power as team manager. Maybe taking that role a little too seriously. But, part of that is just her wanting to be involved. Good on the girls for not, rubbing it in Liberty's face per se, as they say they're glad that she'll be a part of the squad as well. But yeah, we're moving forward. Way to be.
Yep, Liberty is going over her history paper on Napoleon with Mr. Perino. So we have a new teacher alert here, John.
Brand new teacher. I did a double take when he showed up on screen here because I remember him from later seasons. Mainly working with the Marcos of the world and even being harder on students. He gets his own plot at one point for being too big of a hard ass and too mean to students at one point. But I had no idea that he showed up this early. And sure enough, yeah, Mr. Perino, not given a name or anything here, but sitting in as the history teacher. So at least we get these kids taking classes besides the language arts and media immersion.
Also sex ed. Yeah, and sex ed too.
Sex ed and math. Well, we're the same guy.
Yeah. Yep. So we have a history teacher now. So we have health and gym teachers, a math teacher, a science teacher, a media teacher, and an English and poetry teacher. So all the subjects are filled.
Rounding it out nicely. Now, did you have to hand in an outline before going about writing your paper? Does this seem like, because as he was reviewing, he said your outline for your paper seems really great, or do you think that's just Liberty, overachieving and being like, I want to show the progress of my work with the teacher and show off here?
I believe that it's overachieving. I don't feel like not until college where we had to outline and give like an actual rubric to cover like 20 pages. But if this was like a 3-page paper, you give the topic, you do the research, you type it up, and bada bing, bada boom.
And boy, I mean, already I could predict it. I could anticipate. I said, she's studying Napoleon. We are going to get some Liberty acting Napoleonic as team manager, aren't we? And sure enough, she doesn't disappoint.
Yep. Mr. Perino says that Liberty always manages to accomplish her goals, and even Liberty goes, not all the time, because she didn't make the team. Terry is giving palm readings to Hazel and Paige. Terry says that Paige's future is great, but she doesn't like all panicky. Terry and Hazel talk about Paige's pulse, and Paige comes in, it's like, tell me the truth. And Terry says, Paige, you have no lifeline and will die. So really weird here. We've seen Terry give palm readings before, as they wanted to persuade Ashley to change the name of the band that one time.
Yep, consulting the Mystic Oracle with the tarot cards back then. Now we've moved into palmistry for Terry. Trying to find something that she can do, and apparently, like, this is a fun way of connecting with her classmates, but taking the pseudoscience to a way that she doesn't exactly understand it already. It says Paige has no lifeline, which I find hard to say, hard to imagine. But of course, that jumps to the conclusion of you're going to die like immediately. Poor Terry, not the brightest student.
No. You'll be surprised what I think is my LVP. Okay. Liberty is folding team laundry and daydreams about leading the floor hockey team to victory. When Mr. Armstrong comes in, she asks Mr. Armstrong why the boys have better uniforms, and Armstrong says due to the budget of not having enough money for both teams. Liberty is trying to convince Joey Jeremiah to sponsor the girls, but he is already committed to helping the boys basketball team. Liberty shows him the raggedy uniforms, and he says he will think about it.
Yep. She said to Armstrong, couldn't we do a fundraiser or find a sponsor? He said that's going to take a lot of work. Liberty says that's where she shines, and she knows exactly where to start. How do we know that the only place to start when looking for sponsorships, the immediate place, not the dot, which I guess maybe hasn't been discovered by these students yet, or not another local newspaper or business, but let's go to the used car salesman in town. That's where we can find some sponsors, right?
Yeah, was gonna say Jeremiah Automotive is the only place where sponsorship happens. Not Caitlin Ryan and her newspaper. No.
This is obviously the best option. Not even the strip club where they found Fancy before.
Yeah.
Get some or the Jamaican restaurant that Hazel goes to. Like so many different businesses we know of here that might want to help out. But you know what? The used car dealer is probably the best place to start.
Yeah, because I bet you because they know that Joey is a sap. But good on Liberty for showing him the raggedy uniforms to get a point across that you wouldn't want your daughter in this, would you? He goes, no, I guess not.
Yep, sure enough. And Joey, he's got a little sense of school pride still, so he's gonna hear her out and see what they can do. Try to figure something out.
Yep. Liberty shows the girls the new jersey designs, and Miss H asks Liberty to wash the pennies again because they're dirty again. So again, Liberty being put in her place here as team manager. You're not the coach.
Not the coach. You're going to be, we have some responsibilities for you still as team manager, but she has delusions of doing something bigger still. So, looking for what you can. And Miss H even pointing out to the team, it's great that you have these ideas here, but you still need to practice. So let's get to practice, and Liberty, go do your job of laundry.
Yep. Hazel is looking up palm readings and how to do them on the internet. She says Terry didn't read the right hand because Paige is right-handed, but Terry gave the reading on the left hand. And then Terry then gives Paige flowers, and Paige smirks. So Paige and Hazel have a plan here.
Of course, and this is, you can't blame them here. They've got a pretty dim friend here who feels bad that, somehow thinks her other friend is going to die and is taking it to heart and trying to do nice things for her. So why not? I can't blame him here. Try to have some fun with this.
Jimmy comes over and says, oh wait, no. Emma tells Liberty that the team appreciates the gesture of trying to get new uniforms to make Liberty feel welcomed on the team without making the team and playing in the games. Jimmy then comes over with Spinner and Sean and says Mr. Jeremiah will support the boys because they win and have a winning record. And Spinner then chimes in, says no one cares about girls' sports. So you got the macho boys. Leading the pack is Jimmy. Jimmy going back to his jerk ways.
Yeah, he had a brief moment of seeming a bit more human, but hey, when it comes to sports, he wants to protect what they have, and saying the girls' team doesn't deserve as much funding as they do. That they're a proven commodity here. I was a bit surprised. I don't know about you, that Emma doesn't jump to the cause. This seems like something that she would be all over, right? And she's more than just more so this time just sitting it out and letting Liberty plan the fight.
Yeah, I know. It was like I feel like Emma was like, no, Liberty's gonna handle this one. I can back off this.
There's polar bears somewhere that need me, right?
Yeah. Liberty says Liberty proposes a floor hockey match, girls versus boys, to see who gets the sponsorship. Jimmy accepts on behalf of the boys, but Ms. H says she will not coach but will advise the girls. Liberty says she will coach the girls to victory like Napoleon. So we have our first Napoleon reference here.
Absolutely, and we're starting to get the music cues with some military drums playing as Liberty, accepts this role. Miss H, obviously, with the busy science teaching schedule, taking care of the guinea pigs, not really able to coach for an exhibition match between the boys and the girls. So, good on Liberty for seizing the moment here. Hopefully she doesn't run too wild with it, though.
Yeah, and this was good on Miss H because it's like, it's just an exhibition matchup here, and I'm sure these kids can just get along by themselves, and Coach Armstrong doesn't even coach the boys. Like, Jimmy, you did this, you're on your own. I'm not coaching crap.
Yeah, you guys figure it out.
Yep.
Although she even points out, she's like, you don't need to there's a better way of doing this than gambling. And, I think she's right. Like, essentially, this is like, gambling the odds of their uniforms away. But, Liberty also, like Napoleon, maybe wanting to take that risk and thinks it might be a calculated risk if they can strategize properly.
Yeah, and it was also good on Liberty to stand up for the girls here.
Yeah. Unlike Emma.
We're in the hallway now, and Paige is explaining to Terry all the things she won't be able to do and says she is too young to die. Terry comforts Paige while Hazel just smiles in the background. That's all really Hazel is there for. Side friend smirks, basically.
Yeah, well, she did the job of looking up palmistry on the internet, so at least somebody did some work here.
Paige asks Terry to do her book report, and Terry says yes. Jimmy and yep. So hook, line, and sinker for Paige here. Jimmy and Spinner are laughing as Liberty is going over plays. Manny laughs and gets called out on it. Liberty calls. Oh wait, no. Did I go past it? Oh crap, I did. I think. Oh yeah, they they're like practicing and everything, and then Manny's like, "Oh well, I just got my period," and Liberty hands her a tampon too. Sorry about that. Oh crap, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, I knew I went over something. Yep. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that, John. I'm just trying to find something. Yep. Oh, yeah. So they're in the gym, and Liberty hands out guidelines, and Emma looks at Manny like she is crazy in the gym. Liberty comes in with a cape, and like Napoleon, Manny tries to get out of practice, but Liberty hands her a pad. And then, like you said, we have the whole Paige, crying to Terry and everything, and getting Terry to do her book report. Sorry, John. I got the scenes backwards. My bad.
That's all right. No worries.
Yep. So Liberty has gone full Napoleon here.
She has. And, the cape's a nice touch, to try to command presence as a leader, and already – drawing out plays and writing more of a Napoleonic philosophy for the team to study so that they can enter battle here. I'm surprised she didn't go with Lao Tzu, some more like art of war type thinking. But hey, maybe that French connection for our Canadian friends is more fitting.
Yep. Jimmy and Spinner are laughing as the girls are practicing. Liberty is going over plans. Manny laughs and gets called out by Liberty. Liberty then proceeds to call Manny the weakest link on the team.
Ouch.
Kendra then confronts Liberty, saying they won't win as long as Liberty is barking orders at them. Kendra says her plans are useless, just as Liberty is as a coach.
Woohoo. Team's starting to push back a bit here. And yeah, Liberty rolling out some of the more boring techniques of hockey. So maybe she's a Jacques Lemaire fan and using some neutral zone trap strategies. But this is a fun floor hockey team for the girls, and they're starting to say the fun is being drained by good old Liberty, who, even is getting on JT, the mascot, for not exactly being taking this as seriously as she would like to.
Yep. Liberty then finds a jock strap on her locker. I bet you that was Spinner. That's not Jimmy.
Way to go, guys team. Yeah, guys team with the just showing you our support and putting the jock strap hanging on her locker.
Yep, our jock supports here. Ashley talks to Terry and tells Oh no, Paige notices a zit on Terry, but she says that it's just stress. Ashley then
Oh
talks to
man,
Terry. Yeah, go ahead.
the great makeup job here on the zit on our teen model's forehead, right? Just like
Yep.
this glowing red dot up there is hilarious.
Yeah, and Terry's like, no, it's just stress. Like, I take care of my body, like washing and everything. It's like, it's just stress. Ashley then talks to Terry and says that Paige has been lying to Terry the whole time and setting her up.
Here we go.
What do you do, Ashley? Yeah.
Ashley coming in and able to recognize, hey, this is shades of last year, the same stuff. With the Mystic Oracle, right? Again, we're playing. I think it's great that we're playing some of these same story conventions, but seeing the characters respond to them a little differently.
Yep. It's game time here as the students file in. Liberty leads the girls into the gym, and she kicks the fans out of the gym to say that there will be no spectators. I'm surprised that Joey Jeremiah, who's our referee, allows this to happen. And again, she even kicks JT the mascot out.
No room for fun and games in this. This is serious business to Liberty. Yeah. So definitely can tell that this is going to take a bit of a different tone than maybe she had wanted to.
I honestly think you could have also put JT and Toby with the boys as a them being wannabe jocks walking around with Jimmy and them.
That might have worked. Yeah, Toby's nowhere to be found this episode, so no big loss there.
Nor was he in the last episode either.
Or we could have seen, or maybe him as the counter to Liberty, maybe as being the manager. For the boys team, and kind of sharing that same pain of washing dirty uniforms. That would have been a good way to interject him into here.
Yeah, that would have been funny. Yeah, if Toby was the team manager of the basketball team, just like he was almost a pro wrestler too.
Yeah. Show him walking in with while she's sad about washing the pennies, have him come in with a giant pile of spinner sweaty uniforms, and she can think maybe it's not so bad. That could have been a nice denouement on the whole thing to punch it up, right?
Yeah, or even Jimmy being like, Isaac, don't you have my uniform to wash? Yeah, so Joey allows this, and it's going to be team versus team, no spectators here, so whatever. Liberty, like I said, Liberty leads the girls into the gym. She kicks out the fans. She says for the girls to beat the boys, and that's what they're going to do. Paige and Hazel walk out, and they see Ashley with a Ouija board. But before they do that, they try and also get Terry to pay for a movie. So they see the Ouija board, and Ashley says that Paige should get a second opinion if she's dying or not. Terry starts asking the board if it's true that Hazel and Paige set up Terry, and immediately she's pointing up to yes, it's true.
Absolutely. Turning the tables on Paige here to say, I know what you've been doing. And, thankfully they don't play it for too dramatic. They're both just like, okay, you got us. And, kind of just snarking at each other. I think it wraps itself up pretty nicely here. Terry feels dumb, but also feels like, all right, I can call you guys out, knock it off.
Yep. Liberty is shouting instructions at the girls. Spinner knocks into Manny, and Manny hurts her wrist. Liberty says she's fine, but Joey wants her to leave and get it checked out. But Liberty says that Manny needs to stay in the game. Emma tells Liberty to relax, but Liberty tells them to shut up and listen to her. The girls walk out on Liberty.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they finally got tired of her.
Kendra gets the big moments as good luck winning without two players as she walks out first and the other girls throw down their sticks and join her. Boys are starting to celebrate. Joey even warning, hey, they could still come out, but it feels like this one is a wrap for the girls.
That's what I thought too. I was like, oh, is this how it ends?
Yeah.
Liberty tries to get the girls back on the floor, but they don't want to listen to her. She tells the girls to play to their strengths and stop listening to her and just play to her strengths. So the girls go back in without Liberty. She's watching from the hallway. Miss H asks Liberty what's wrong, and Liberty says she wanted to be coach, and the girls hate her. But Miss H tells her that it's hard to balance coaching and having fun at the same time. Good life lesson by Miss H. You can have fun and still be a coach, but discipline the players to concentrate, but also have fun while concentrating.
Absolutely, yeah. Miss H, a bit of a voice of reason here, but also, telling Liberty, reassuring Liberty that she had the right ideas in mind and she, wanted the best for everybody, but needs to kind of ease off and remember that this is still meant to be fun. And it seems like that gets through.
Uh-huh. So we don't see the outcome of the game, but we see Liberty in the laundry room with both girls and boys laundry. So we can assume and know that the girls lost, so Liberty has to do the boys' uniform laundry as well. Emma then comes in to try and cheer her up. The girls come in with the new jerseys as a surprise, and Emma says Joey will sponsor both teams because he's never seen a grudge match of boys versus girls since Billie Jean and who was the other one, John?
Bobby Riggs, the famous Battle of the Sexes. Yep.
Gotcha. So Joey was like, I'm going to sponsor both of you. You really didn't have to play it. Why didn't you just say that in the first place, Joey?
Guys, he had a good week at the car lot, sold a couple old Geos, just in time.
Yep. And then the girls give Liberty her team manager official jersey as the episode wraps here. So a good episode of learning from coaching and having fun at the same time.
I absolutely dreaded watching this episode. When I messaged you when it came on for just that reason. I was like, oh God. I remember just hating another Liberty episode and thought that it was pretty one note. But actually, I really enjoyed it this time around. I thought that this was they had fun with the Liberty extreme coaching techniques, and also they're grounded in a real motivation of her wanting to be a part of the team and do it in her own way. I also thought the small B plot of Paige and Terry and Hazel was fun for what it was, and it didn't overstay its welcome. It definitely, like I said, hit on some of those same notes of last year, but showed that Terry might be getting a little smarter and not letting these things work her out, and she's able to stand up for herself at the end, and there's no real hard feelings among the group. At least Paige and Hazel didn't take too much advantage of Terry. I guess maybe it would have gotten further had we seen it allowed to go on much longer. But yeah, no harm, no foul, really, in this. So a fun episode, like you said, and keeps some of our other characters and other storylines, on the sideline, but not for any poor reason. I think we had a lot of fun with things to happen here.
Yeah, and I would also we have we seen Craig? I guess so, as the side too. So it's been a while. I feel like that since we've seen Craig as well.
Yeah, Craig showed up last episode at the party, but not here. He could have been there. He could have been there taking photos of the of the hockey game.
Yeah, but also I think like our last two episodes, I don't know if Craig was in them. He didn't seem like he was in the guinea pig episode, and I don't think he was also in the one with Marco and Allie. He might have been on the side with during Marco kissing Ellie and stuff like that. But it's also been Jimmy and Marco.
Yep. Well, we got plenty of Craig left to come as this season moves on.
Oh, yeah.
But this was like a really fun batch tonight. I really enjoyed this two settings. I like that we're seeing the characters actually kind of develop some backbone and personality like to themselves, and not repeating the same mistakes. And actually, I think the friendship dynamic among the Emma Manny Liberty group here is pretty nicely fleshed out, as they're not just like looking at her as the smart kid, but kind of appear in a better way.
Yep. John, so you and I feel like we're going to differ on the B storyline, and we'll go with this first. I have the entire B plot as my LVP, actually. Surprisingly, or surprised or not, I thought this was a waste of time for this B plot. It's like, what are we doing? I mean, we're just having fun, but this B plot seemed a little bit lame here.
I mean, it is lame, but we're also, grade 8, grade 9 students. We do have some pretty lame things that go on in our lives. I think it was a nice departure for those characters who have had a lot of serious stuff going on, Paige specifically, to kind of ease back into something that feels a bit more familiar, and see them actually kind of having fun, even if it is in some mean-spirited ways. And I like that they reconciled it okay at the end and aren't going to be at each other's throats and seeing each other as hags for the foreseeable future. Even Ashley gets to help out in reconciling that,
Gotcha. Did you have an LVP?
Oh man, who would be? I mean, Spinner again. We can always go him as kind of just for his comments about girls not being good at sports or not wanting to watch girl sports except for mud wrestling.
Misogynistic. Yep.
Maybe LVP to the Degrassi community schools. Funding planners for sports and their distribution of money among boys and girls sports. We could go with that.
And also the fact that there's
donations from used car dealers, for a community school.
Yeah, for LVP, the lack of other businesses besides Joey Jeremiah.
Yeah, so let's go with the school administration and its poor logistics planning.
Yep. MVP, John, I have Liberty. While and she almost made my LVP just for being the dictatorship, but that's what Liberty is striving to be, and that's what her character is trying to be. And she played it. She played her part to the T, basically.
She did, yeah. Liberty is, equally parts annoying, but also aspirational in this episode, and she really is just wanting to be a part of the team. We'll see it with other characters in other episodes where they might not be able to fit in athletically, but find a role. And it's good to see that Liberty does here, and in doing so actually finds a way to advocate for the team. And I thought that was a good use of the character here.
Yeah. As second, I would actually have Kendra, because she does more talking back than Emma does to Liberty, and Kendra is not going to put up with this crap because Kendra is the sports star of this group. I was wondering if they were trying to find a fourth girl, like they have the four girls in the ninth grade, if they were trying to get Kendra into the eighth grades, but I even think Kendra is a grade below them, I believe.
No, I think she is grade 8 with them. That may be pretty close to a series wrap on Kendra. I don't think we see too much of her after this.
Oh, well, we'll have to keep an eye out.
Yeah, keep an eye. But yeah, she, you know, you can give her MVP for scoring. She does the most goal scoring out of any of the players we see. So on the court, she's definitely the MVP.
Yep. So, John, that's going to do it for us here tonight, wrapping up our coverage of our 2 Degrassi episodes. But before we go, do you have anything that you want to direct the listeners to?
Absolutely. I'll definitely shout out the boys over at the 90210 No-So podcast, making their way through season 4. The beginning of the college years at California University. They finally started taking classes there, and we've introduced, fraternity life as well as student politics into the mix. Going to be a fun ride this year. Season 4, one of my favorite seasons of the show, and really a season where, Brenda was leaving, and I don't know how late into the season they knew that, but they really throw everything they can at that character this season. So I think that'll be a really fun ride for people who want to follow along with more popular teen melodramas from the 90s. And then recently you guys started up on the Place to Be Pop feed, a daily movie review, and I've been really enjoying catching some of those, about 10, 15 minutes each day to listen to, whether it's Andy or Tim has done some, and Chad even chiming in on some popular films or some of their favorite films through the years. I think this week they're doing a theme of football movies. So check it out, start your day or, fit it into the mix at some point along the way. It's a nice little introduction or, trip down memory lane of some films you probably enjoyed over time.
Yeah, I enjoy those too, and maybe I'll start getting into doing some reviews too as well. I'll talk to Andy about that. As for me, you can mostly find me on the Place to Be Nation Wrestling feed. I have 2 podcasts over there. One is just going to be wrapping up. That is called Nation Invasion. By the time you hear this, the last episode will have dropped, where I cover Monday Night Raw 11, November 19th, 2001, and SmackDown November 22nd, 2001, the fall of Survivor Series 2001. I have on with me Keith Langston as we discuss the return of Ric Flair as 50% co-owner with Vince McMahon, the announcement for Vengeance as a one undisputed champion for Vengeance, as we get those matches squared away at Vengeance. We also talk about what went right and what went wrong with the invasion and why it didn't work. And William Regal joining a new club created by Vince McMahon. So you can catch all that on Nation Invasion, as it will be the final episode of Nation Invasion. And
how short is that discussion of what went right with you guys?
Yeah, it's pretty low on the standards. That's pretty short. No, it was mostly like what went wrong too. So you got me there, John. You got me.
What went right? What went wrong? But you are at we at that great moment. The consortium was me, right?
Yep.
And Vince McMahon ear pull.
Oh yes. Yep, and also I have Extreme Resurrection on the Place to Be Nation Wrestling feed, where me and Steve Riddle we look back at ECW on Sci-Fi from 2006 to 2010. We are on the fallout of Backlash, where Kane defeated Chavo Guerrero to retain his ECW title. And we're still finding out where Mike Adamle fits on his commentary and if Colin Delaney will get an ECW contract. So you can check all that out on Extreme Resurrection. And recently on 2 podcasts, I was on the Backbone Wrestling Network covering on Are You Smarter Than Vince Russo's Goes WCW, me, Logan Crossland, Scott Shiflett, we covered Slamboree 2000, that pay-per-view. We went through all the matches and covered the ending to the triple cage match as Chris Cannon got thrown off the top of the cage onto the floor, being quite close, actually a year apart from in the Kemper Arena from where Owen Hart passed away, and we have a big discussion about that. So listen to that on the Backbone Wrestling Network. Are You Smarter Than Vince Russo's WCW? And like John alluded to, 9021 No So, that's on its own feed. I was the last guest on that show. Me, Justin Rosero, and Tim Cable. We covered season 4, episode 4, Greek to Me. The girls and boys want to join fraternities and sororities. Some are less eager to join than others, but we see Kelly meet one of her old boyfriends, John Kreese, and John Sears. What? Oh my God!
I would love if John Kreese showed up.
Oh God, John Sears! Wow, John Sears, not John Kreese. This is not the Karate Kid. Okay, wow, John Sears. Also, Brandon must make a choice: politics or fraternity, because he can't have it both ways. Not John Kreese. Okay. Well, that's going to do it from us here tonight on Pop Goes Degrassi. He's John Kesselika. I'm James Gruenberg, and we will see you next time.